Next, we're going to move into open forum. Just a reminder of this is a great opportunity for the community to come forward and talk to the board about any and all aspects. Just a reminder of the intent of this is for us to listen, so we won't give direct feedback during this time. If you want follow-up, we'll certainly follow up with you, either email or a call, and get in contact. It is limited to 3 minutes. Caroline will let individuals know when there's about 30 seconds left. So with that, let's start open forum. We're going to start with Edie Helper. Hi, Edie.
Hi, it's actually Hepler.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It happens all the time. Good evening. My name is Edie Hepler, and I'm an art teacher at Chanhassen High School. I've worked for District 112 for 16 years, and I'm a parent of a first grader and a future kindergartner. I am here tonight to represent a group of 38 elective and encore teachers and speak to the repeated cuts to secondary elective programming in our district. In 2009, the switch to a 7-period day from the block schedule resulted in every student losing 2 electives each year at the high school. Last year, each student lost 2 more electives per year in the decision to switch to a 6-period day. In just over 10 years, our students have lost more than 16 elective opportunities over the course of their high school career to explore interests and build skills for possible career paths. The current proposal for the middle schools will further reduce the elective programming in our district. Historically, our programs have performed at a very high level. We have provided AP classes, courses that came with college credit, and won awards and accolades at the local, state, and national level in music, DECA, robotics, and visual arts. This level of achievement cannot be sustained when the foundational programming is treated as expendable. With more cuts on the horizon, this level of performance and the opportunities for students appears to be a thing of the past. We implore you to find a different solution to the budget deficit. Due to the failure of the referendum in 2019, our departments took huge hits last spring. We lost many highly qualified staff members and severely limited the options available to our students. This included many courses that were not able to run due to lack of opportunity. Computer programming, AP Studio Art, Project Lead the Way engineering courses, business networking, and many other upper-level courses are just not able to be offered due to these draconian cuts. The addition of Senior Study Hall has further eroded our departments by offering students a free period that has incentivized the students as a way to leave the building. Arts and electives provide vibrancy and a sense of community in our schools. These programs are crucial to social-emotional learning and preparing our students for success beyond high school. Although the focus is often about how elective courses benefit students in our majority culture at ECCS, we rarely talk about the benefit our elective and encore curriculum offers students who, for a variety of reasons, find themselves in the minority in our district based on ethnicity, language, or an IEP. We cannot claim to be fostering equity when we do not offer a curriculum where all students can find success, belonging, and building on their personal strengths. In fact, aren't we destroying the equity which currently exists in our curriculum by further limiting opportunities for all students? We understand the financial constraints that the district finds itself in, but feel it is important to voice and acknowledge that these cuts to our elective and encore programs do impact our already marginalized students to a great degree, and that although it is deemed necessary, it is not equitable. Please work with us to ensure students have access to high-quality elective opportunities and with the citizens of Eastern Carver County to help pass a referendum to bring back these vital programs for our students. I have one sentence left. Can I read?
Sure.
As a community, we need to come together to provide financial support for the schools and students of Eastern Carver County Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Edie. Next is Scott Shannon.
Thank you. Before I get started, really quick, I would say there's a large group of people that would agree with what Edie had to present there. And my second point would be that it's very disappointing that we weren't able to ask the experts that were presented to us to ask any questions. It's very conspicuous that they gave no demographic information, nor any information regarding hospitalizations or death rates, which really are the most important things in impacting our communities. So wanted to start with that. So again, Superintendent, Board, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Scott Shannon. I live in Victoria. Proud father of Cora Shannon and supporter of sports here in Chanhassen Schools. As the son of an educator, and my mom also an administrator, I understand and respect the hard decisions that each of you have and the importance you play in our community as well as here in our educating our kids. What I'm here today to do is to ask you to reconsider the decisions that have been made regarding allowing Chanhassen cheer to participate in person in the national event. One thing which also stands out is the fact that some of the other schools in our area like Prior Lake as well as Minnetonka have been allowed to participate. There's a lot of new information coming out from government agencies as we're all seeing here. I'm sure you've very well aware what occurred on Friday, as well as even Dr. Fauci on Sunday news programs yesterday. The accomplishments of our cheer team are unprecedented, and I think it deserves extra consideration given the fact that they're the first team that I'm aware of from a sports perspective that are allowed to represent us nationally, and they also did that by fulfilling their main obligation, which is to learn, and they have the highest GPA of any team in the metro area. Per the AMA, which is the Aerospace Medical Association, in 2020 there were only 60 confirmed cases of COVID transmission from air travel, and that was while 1.2 billion people traveled. So this is really important information that we need to make sure that we're considering. The AMA goes on to say that COVID is actually a higher risk in our classrooms than it is on our airplanes. So again, things that we need to be considering. As we begin back, and again, something that the experts didn't talk about, as we begin back our journey, thinking back where we were a year ago, we started out talking about hospitalizations. It wasn't just about infections. It was about hospitalizations and about how those hospitalizations lead to death. And I'm proud to say that we can sit here and our community has beds available for those who are in need. And that's where we started a year ago. Additionally, school-age kids are significantly underrepresented when it comes to people that are hospitalized or death. If you look at the larger pieces of data, looking at national data, 99.5% of all deaths are over the age of 50. 99.5. Under the age of, or over the age of 20. If you go to 50, it's 95.5. I misspoke. But again, it shows you that the impact on the demographics we are most here to represent is the fact that we have a responsibility to these kids, and they are not impacted by COVID like people my age and certainly people that are others. So again, another thing I would point out is from a clarity perspective, this is not
Scott, just if you could wrap it up 5 seconds or so.
This is not a district sponsored event. This is sponsored privately, and we believe it is the rights of the parents to decide if they can travel and it's worth the risk. If kids are in school,
Thanks, Scott.
they should
Sorry,
be able to
I got to
participate.
cut you off out of respect, but I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can I make a comment?
One more thing to present.
Let's hold.
All of the families did sign an additional waiver, trying to limit any further liability that you may have as a board or as a district.
Great. Thank you, Scott.
Mr. Chair, can I make a comment?
Let's pass. Let's hold it.
Only that this is a board meeting and their presentation was to the board, and audience members never ask questions of our experts at board meetings, just to clarify.
Thank you for the clarification. That's true, per policy. All right, next up, Josie Cullerin. Hi, Josie.
Pressure's on, 3 minutes. I didn't think I'd be here doing this. Okay, so as most of you know me, I'm a former school board member. I have 4 children, 2 of which attend Chanhassen High School and 2 of them attend Breakaway Academy. I am deeply disappointed by your recent decision to put a 2-week suspension of your facilities in our district, and even further disappointed that you picked and choose varsity to play. Going forward, I would hope you would consider this decision being an all or nothing decision. My daughter was on JV hockey with the Stormhawks. She didn't even know it was her last game of the season when she played 2 Saturdays ago. The message you sent to her was that she is not important and she's not taken lightly by her teammates, and many other non-varsity sports you canceled. Again, This decision should have been an all or nothing. I'd urge you to consider giving them another practice and game once their 2 weeks is over. As it is, they're not allowed to have a banquet or any gathering. I'd like to read you an article from the Saturday Star Tribune. Nearly 200 cases of COVID-19 in Minnesota have involved the B117 variant. Genomic sequencing has tied 29 cases of that variant to COVID-19 outbreak centered in organized sports in suburban Carver County. Included in this 29 cases are 14 players from Shakopee High School girls hockey team. Sequencing and samples from 9 players found the variant. Now you guys know that Shakopee is not in our district. That would be a great question for Dan Hoff to answer. But yet we were still pressured, and you were still pressured to shut down as a result. And he did not mention when you had asked him other counties, Scott County, which they have the girls hockey program is already, that would be one of the ones that I would think he would have mentioned. The girls Stormhawks team followed all the rules, and yet they were still punished. This misinformation has to stop. And he mentions these sports are having team dinners and team gatherings outside of sports. This is not true and has not been allowed in our district. We have followed those rules, but yet they are still punished. If you get this information and this pressure from the MDH, I'd encourage you to ask more detailed questions that I am not privy of and nor should be. And more of where this is coming from. The Shakopee, this was in Star Tribune today, or on Saturday, so it's there, and that should be a question to ask to them. If you're worried about spring break, I'd suggest canceling it. And God forbid, we're worried about that. You can close a school on a Friday for a vaccine within a matter of 2-day notice. But, if we're so worried about that and going to make further precautions, why don't we cancel spring break? But the kids need to be in school anyway. It's just not popular, but it's just a suggestion. At any rate, 2 weeks is 2 weeks. But I'm here tonight to urge you to keep pushing ahead and stop canceling activities in school. We need to get our kids back in school, especially the high schoolers. Thank you. I will stop right there out of respect of that.
Thank you, Josie.
Thanks, Josie.
Next up, Melanie Villarosa.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Melanie De La Rosa, and I've been a member of the Chanhassen Varsity cheer team for 2 years. I want to start off by saying that as a student, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for putting our safety first. I would like to discuss with you guys the importance of our team going to nationals this year. For me, cheer is really important because it's one of the greatest accomplishments so far. It's allowed me to get closer to so many people, especially because I'm not very outgoing. And in a way, it's saved my life because I didn't do much before cheer. I kind of just sat home and did nothing. So I'm super happy that I joined the cheer team. For 11 years, I was raised by a single mom with 2 kids, which made us a low-income family. My brother was a student at Chaska High School and played soccer. It really helped him come out of his shell and become more outgoing, which also helped me come out of my shell because he was not only a brother, but like a father figure to me. I don't know what I would do without cheer and my brother. Going to nationals would mean so much to us. We can't tell you how excited we were to receive an invitation. Our coaches and teams were, our coach and team worked very hard. It's extremely difficult for a first year to make it to a national level. We are a group of spirit leaders who want to put Chanhassen on the map for competitive cheer. We worked extremely hard to get here. We practiced 3 times a week, sometimes up to 3 hours and a half. We cheered at games and compete on weekends. Nothing is certain, and we don't know if there's a bid for the team next year. We're also losing 7 of our seniors, some of which have been on the team for 4 years, which is why going to nationals during our first year would be an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not only for us, but for all the entire Storm community as well. I feel like being in cheer has made me become more involved with the school, which is also why I'm here. I've never experienced something this exciting, and I've never even been on a plane. I feel like sometimes we're overlooked in many ways at school, especially being Mexican or Hispanic. This is a place where I feel I am important and valued member of the community. We're a community of diverse, hardworking, and strong athletes. Over half our team is a minority group on free and reduced lunch from low-income families. Some of our cheerleaders grew up with unimaginable challenges. Cheerleading is truly the place where our teams feel like they belong. Some of our teammates have never experienced something like this. We also model inclusive and welcoming environment every day, and I'm so proud to say that. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you consider allowing us to attend nationals in Orlando. It would mean so much to me and my team.
Thank you, Maggie. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Melanie. Sorry. Maggie Vanette?
Good evening. My name is Becky Barrett, and I have been a captain of the Chanhassen varsity cheer team for 2 years. I'm speaking on behalf of the team, and I would like to discuss with you the importance of our team going to nationals this year. So after Governor Walz's announcement of opening Minnesota up, and after the announcement of going back to school fully in person, I would like to implore you to keep this decision up for further discussion, since the trip is not for another 6 weeks. And if a year ever needed a cheerleader, it would definitely be this year. So let's face it, this year has been pretty rough, and as a senior this year, it's been especially disappointing to not get all the amazing things that make senior year so special. Chanhassen really is the place for me and lots of others to take a plunge into a wide variety of extracurriculars, like cheerleading. Sorry. These relationships between teammates will last a lifetime, and when we are older and have other responsibilities, like children and jobs.
You're okay. You're okay. You're fine.
I know these relationships will remain constant, and we will reminisce about this special time in our lives. Sorry. I'm going to go over my 3 minutes probably. Ooh, okay. So my mom took over the team during my junior year, and she had a goal for the team to reach incredible heights. Oh my goodness, sorry, I didn't know I was going to do this.
It's okay.
You're fine, honey. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. I might need to go over 3 minutes.
Take a deep breath.
Deep breath. We'll stop the clock for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you're all good, honey. We're here to listen, and you're doing great.
Sorry. Whew.
No worries.
I was like not thinking I'd do this today.
It's okay. We've all been there, honey. It's all right.
Okay. So going back to my mom, she wanted to have students in the stands see themselves on our team, and I'm proud to say that we've made that dream a reality. We now have 6 different ethnic groups represented in a predominantly white school because we are truly creating a team of leaders with lots of diverse backgrounds and family histories. We have also done a lot to build our program, like starting the first ever mini cheer camps and instilling a love for cheer in over 300 of our elementary age students. So speaking on behalf of the seniors, we have lost a lot and we miss being in school. So as for nationals, this would be such a great opportunity for our 7 seniors, as it's kind of basically all we've held on to get us through this disappointing year. And this would be our chance to have a little sense of normal. Whew, again. So going to nationals would mean so much to the team, and we can't tell you how excited we were to receive an invitation. Our coaches and the team, like Melanie said, worked super hard, and it's extremely difficult for a first-year team to make it to that national level. We really want to put Chanhassen on that national spotlight and put our team on the map for years to come. Whew. We are student leaders and ambassadors to our school and community, setting the tone for Storm Pride every day. We are truly a team of students first, athletes second, and this is proven after receiving the regional academic honor given at our state competition for the highest GPA in the entire Twin Cities metro area. We are a community of diverse, hardworking, and strong athletes, and some of our teammates struggle with mental health or other unimaginable challenges, and they feel that this team is a place for them to belong and a place to fit in at Chan. Which is why going to nationals during our first year would be an amazing opportunity for not only us, but for the entire Storm community as well. It shows everyone that if you put your mind to something, you can achieve anything, and we have proven that, as we have never competed before, but yet we've gotten this opportunity. And we have even beaten nationally ranked teams in local competitions, and we want to show our Storm spirit and our hard work to everyone. Sorry, I just have like a couple more lines. So our national competition is run by Varsity Spirit, a nationwide organization that has a proven track record of keeping millions of athletes safe. And our team has remained safe throughout the challenges thrown at us. And we know that this trip would be safe, and we'll do whatever it takes to get us there. And we will do it because we know this opportunity is truly once in a lifetime. We are the first ever competitive cheer team at Chan, and we have made it to that national level, and that's pretty amazing if you ask me. So I implore you, please keep the decision up for further discussion since the trip is not for another 6 weeks. And please remember, if a year ever needed a cheerleader, it would definitely be this year. So thank you, and go Storm.
Thank you, Mom.
Nice job. Thank you.
Made it.
Jeffrey Peltier. Hey, Jeffrey.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, but I'll try. So,
Good luck is right.
yeah, so good evening. I have two kids at Chanhassen High School. One's a senior, one's a sophomore, and they're both play JV hockey. But that's not why I'm here today, to talk about that suspension. What I'd like to discuss is the mandatory 14-day self-quarantine for any possible contact with a possible COVID case. What we just heard a few minutes ago from the experts is that we don't necessarily need to have a 14-day mandatory quarantine. So my request is to follow the CDC guidelines, which is called Options to Reduce Quarantine. It's right on their website. In fact, he stated it today. And deal with these on a case-by-case basis. When the likelihood of contact is less than 15 minutes of close contact, considered low initial risk contact, which is typical in sports that are wearing masks constantly and are keeping their distance regularly. And when they're not even competing, they're wearing a mask and social distancing. If you can follow that possible contact with testing, negative testing at the 7-day mark, and you don't have any symptoms, you should be able to go to school after 7 days. And we should all be incorporating testing into the decisions that we make to return to school for the lowest risk. The obvious concern in this case is the students end up missing a second week of school when they're really not sick, they don't have any symptoms, and they're not even posing a risk to other students. Again, because of all of the things that the school board has put in place to make sure that they're safe. So let's adopt what the CDC has recommended, and let's allow our student athletes to go to school when they're not actually exposed to COVID. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
That concludes our open forum for the evening. Next, we'll move into 3.0.